students don't have to get it right the first time. And you just the way you all said that is perfect. And I think they need to hear it and understand that you can make a change over time.
Right.
They can also use those colleges. Colleges have connections with industry
Yes.
organizations, depending on whatever they're majoring in, they have that direct contact too. So it's twofold. It just depends on, how they want to, when they want to do it. If they want to go straight into it, as you want to do adulting one-on-one right away, go for it. Or you want to take your time and grow up and develop.
Yes.
Because sometimes they miss that piece. The college gives them time to develop as adults, not just academically, and career-wise, but it helps them. Sometimes they're not ready to spend all their money, come out making $80,000. You done spent all of it by the next year. You know what I mean? But college helps you, it helps you develop a little bit more. So, whatever path is right for you.
Correct.
Make sure that, you're taking all things into account.
Well, this almost leads into then the idea, reminds me of, how can we help students and families to make sure that they're asking the right questions? So you're trying to find the best fit. What are the right questions to ask? And so a lot of it is, what are those opportunities? Mm-hmm. Talking about debt, what sort of financial aid is available? What scholarships are available? Asking those questions. What is the retention rate? How many students are finding the best fit and staying? What are the graduation rates? Mm-hmm. Really diving in to those questions and not being afraid to ask that, because that's all part of this decision as well. So part of finding that fit, making sure what is the best pathway, asking those questions.
And not majoring in a hobby, right? We want to make sure that you are majoring in something that could provide you the lifestyle that you would want to have, knowing what it is what matters, right? So if you want to major in the engineering and the STEMs and the things like that, you understand what possibly that lifestyle could get you. I majored in criminal justice, and a lot of students are majoring in the humanities, the educations and the sociologies and the psychologies. What can you do with that, right? And what is that lifestyle going to look like? If you wanted to major in the arts, like what are the opportunities in the arts? And so that's why I want to make sure that people are like really focusing on what their future could look like, not because I'm interested in this particular thing, right? I want you to major in something that's going to provide you the lifestyle that you really want. And you can do those hobbies on the side or figure those things out as well. That's what we're working with our students, is making sure that they're a little more strategic on how they're selecting. What's high demand, what's in the areas, where are the jobs going to be, what are your interests, what are your aptitudes, things like that.
And that's typically what I tell students as well. The Department of Labor, they will show the future of job markets. Right. So if you don't have a major in mind, but maybe you have a career in mind. So like how do I get to my career? But I don't know my specific major. I'm like, all right, work backwards. Find your career, and like the Department of Labor, it will show you what colleges or what major that you should pursue within it. It'll also even show other jobs that you can segue into. So if you kind of have an idea of what you want to do or a specific position, it will show you other options that you haven't possibly considered. And again, it gets you ultimately to your major. So just again, the resources that's available, and we're always open to tell you what we've learned along the way. Just like with your program, it's helpful. You attend, learn, take it in, meet people, and go from there.
Yeah, and I like one thing with Next Step Education. It helps. One of the things that was very beneficial for our students, it helped parents and students build a village that they didn't have. So, they come to the sessions, hey, your child, they're interested in this, and then after a while, they're connecting and they're building they're really helping their students.
Right. And that's what it's about. We just want to make sure that there's a more informed, a better prepared family, right? So that they can make better decisions, hopefully, they're further along than their parents were, right? And their parents were further along than their parents were. We just want to make sure we're putting them in a better position. That's what we're doing. So we'll end this. I'll get one piece of advice that you would give to a college-bound student or a college-bound parent who is looking for information on the college preparatory process, the college admissions process, college acceptance, or even college campus? Like what is like a really important piece of information that you would give to some students that are coming to you?
Coming to me, I'll come visit. I can't stress it enough. You have to visit the school to really decide if it's the right feel for you. And most students have an aha moment on the campus. I'll say, you know that I like this area of the campus. I feel like I could be in this classroom. The students, the presence, that energy that you get from visiting the school. So. And maybe sometimes you can't. So virtually, try to understand like who are the faculty members. Can I schedule a visit with students to just see that again? Is it the energy that you're looking for? Because you can tell a lot simply by just walking around on the campus. So yes, so I just highly encourage if you don't blindly go for a college, and as I mentioned earlier, just based off rankings or. As Jen said, just a few statistics or a few things that you know or heard about the school, but get it for yourself. And that way you'll know that you're making the right decision. And even if it's right for right now, knowing that you can also change. So having that backup plan as well.
Well, I just say on the the K-12 side, the high school side, making sure you know what your resources are before. A lot of times we get as educators we get things when something is wrong. Find out, build at least introduce yourself to your principal. Find out what your assigned high school counselor. Typically, they're assigned by either grade level, alphabet. Make sure you know who that is. Their other support.
Say and talk to them. Don't find out.
Please talk to them. Have a conversation, and know their other support staff, school psychologists, school social workers. I know you talked about student engagement specialists, post-secondary. Find out, it varies from district to district, school to school, but find out what that is. And then sometimes crises happen. And when you're in a crisis, the most challenging thing is trying to figure out who to get help from. Know that in advance, and make sure parents communicate that to your child, make them advocate for themselves and find out, and then you find out as well and have those conversations. So, I know that helps on both sides, parents, students, and counselors.
I would say for when you're selecting potentially a institution, and a particular major, after a long time of discussion, exposure, and all these good things, research the faculty who is going to be instructing, guiding, and teaching you, and kind of find out what they did and how they got to that place. So we can paint the picture of who's preparing you, and then finally making sure you have an example of where you want to go, right? So what does it look like at the end of your journey, and try to have that in mind as you create your own space, because the lifestyle that your career is going to provide for you is the most important thing. And so that has to match with you in your decision.
Yeah, and I would say, it circles back to the idea of just keeping an open mind and not making assumptions. I think too many students will add or eliminate schools from their list based on a couple things that they've heard or that they are assuming. So keep an open mind, have a lot of options that you are researching. Here we go again. The research. Every student hates me.
It's the common theme on the whole conversation.
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. But it's so important to have an open mind as you are doing your search, and be confident in who you are and know that the value in that. Mm-hmm. Exactly who you are. We don't want students to pretend to be someone else. That's not part of this. We're trying to get to know who you are, because then that helps us to see you on our campuses. We are building communities. We want to understand what students are adding. And then, of course, it circles back to focus on what you can control.
So there are a lot of pieces that you can be mindful of and to make sure that you're staying on top of. But the rest of the process, the things that are out of your control, it's not worth stressing about.
Mm-hmm. And that's good, just life advice, right? I need to take my own advice too. Try to let go. But there's enough happening right now with students. There's so much that students are trying to navigate. So be kind to yourselves, give yourselves grace, have confidence in who you are, and know that that truly is who we are trying to get to know in this process. All that stuff you can't control, try not to focus the energy on that. Just be in control of where you are in your process, what's important to you, be yourselves, and allow us on every level to get to know you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I can't thank y'all enough for being a part of this College Access Roundtable. This has been insightful. I've actually learned a lot from you guys being here today, and I know that our college-bound students and families will also learn a lot as well. So thank y'all so much for being a part of it. All right.
Always learning. Thank you, friends.
All right, no problem. All right.